Good evening, everyone. Meteorologist Carmelo Lattuca in the 1011 streaming studio. Rainy and cooler out there today, with temperatures only climbing, really falling into the 50s, and we did set a daily rainfall record as well. Let's take a look at our Lincoln Precipitation Almanac. Actually, we're going to start off with our Lincoln Streaming Almanac here, our Lincoln Weather Almanac. 63 degrees for our high temperature. The average is 72 degrees, but that high temperature today, that happened right around midnight. 51 degrees, that's the low so far today. We're at 52 right now. We could drop down even further before we get to midnight. The average low is 45 degrees, so not too far off from there, but certainly a below average day overall. As we take a look at the Lincoln Precipitation Almanac, the record 1.18 inches. We broke that 1.32 inches for the record today. So the normal at this point in the month through 6 days, just over half of an inch. So we're running almost an inch above normal, but we're still running below normal for the year, though we are closing that deficit just a little bit closer, 2 inches and a quarter below normal once again. As we take a look at Lincoln rainfall today, we're talking about 3/4 of an inch to an inch and a half of rain. Now we add that with the totals with yesterday as well, and some locations in town received over 2 inches of rain. Couple Southwest Lincoln, 2.18 inches and 2.35 inches. Here at the studio, 1.35 inches in total. Observed precipitation across the state over the last 24 hours is also fairly high in some locations. Nebraska City, 2.51 inches. That is the hot spot right now. Beatrice, once again, that sensor is down, so zeros really not telling the full story. We're likely seeing higher amounts in southeastern Nebraska. 1.07 inches in Falls City, half an inch in Hebron, and about 3/4 of an inch out in Hastings. Low temperature today. Well, we were down to 51 once again in Lincoln, and that's happened early into the morning hours, maybe even into the early afternoon, but upper 30s to low 40s off into the west. We could see cooler temperatures overnight tonight. High temperatures today, again, that was right around midnight. 62 in Lincoln, 67 in Falls City, but only 55 in Grand Island and 55 degrees out in Hastings. As we take a look at our Skyview cams, pretty quiet out there right now. We did see rainy and poor visibility conditions as well in the capital city, but that has certainly improved at this hour. The visibility is up to a full 10 miles. We were down to 2.5 miles earlier this afternoon and evening. It's 52 at the studio, 53 at the airport, winds out of the north at 8 miles per hour, and temperatures across town range anywhere from about 51 to 53 degrees, so not a lot of difference there, and generally uniform across the state. There are some spots dipping into the 40s where the cloud cover is breaking up. It's 46 in North Platte, 48 in Lexington, 45 degrees out in Alliance. You compare that to 24 hours ago, we're still running about 10, 15, 20 degrees cooler at this time compared to 8:48 p.m. Sunday evening in southeastern Nebraska, only a couple degrees cooler off into the west. Our dew points are much lower as well. It's certainly not humid out there. Dew points in the 40s and 50s. Winds are out of the north at about 5 to 10 miles per hour, not too bad. Our winds certainly have improved compared to what we saw this past weekend. Now, we could see those showers and storms, mainly just showers at this point, generally exiting the state. Still some spotty activity in southeastern Nebraska. Between Fairbury and Dorchester, there's a few sprinkles right around Beatrice, as well as close to Pawnee City, but nothing in the capital city at this time. As we take a look at the national picture, a little bit more active off to the east, especially western Iowa. That's where all that rain is moving off into. The Mississippi River Valley also seen some unsettled activity, but again, pretty quiet behind this system here in Lincoln and out to the west as well. Now, as we take a look at our weather alerts, we have a frost advisory for portions, of northwestern Nebraska, as well as off into the Panhandle. Temperatures could be getting close to freezing, right around 32 degrees. No severe weather, though, expected today, tomorrow, or into the day on Wednesday. Hopefully, we're done with severe weather for the rest of this year. But as we take a look at Skycast for the rest of this evening and into the overnight hours, the spotty activity will decrease and exit and move off to our east as well. We'll see mostly sunny conditions as we head into Tuesday morning. Plenty of sunshine into Tuesday afternoon. Very few passing clouds, not expecting any precipitation over the next 48 hours, but then we'll see an increase in cloud cover as we head into Wednesday afternoon and especially into Wednesday evening. Now, the spotty activity could decrease between now and about midnight and will likely be mainly quiet once again into the overnight hours. Just wanted to take a closer look at the state. A few passing clouds once again out there tomorrow, but pretty quiet over the next 2 days and maybe even quiet through the end of the work week. Now, how much rain could we be talking about between now and October 13th? Very little. Chances are not overly high over the next 7 days. Maybe a 1/4 of an inch in some spots, but there are some parts of the state that might not see any more precipitation for the next week, and we certainly don't need too much more after today. Again, we're still running below average, but we're closing that deficit once again. Meanwhile, our temperatures overnight tonight will drop down into the upper 30s, maybe even some low 30s out there. 33 in Alliance, that's why we have that frost advisory. 45 here in Lincoln, 50 degrees in Falls City. Highs out there tomorrow, much warmer, or at least much more, a little bit more mild compared to what we saw today. Upper 60s to right around 70 degrees. And then our lows on Wednesday, warmer out to the west, cooler to the east, 40 degrees in Lincoln. That'd be one of the cooler mornings we've seen so far this season. Wednesday afternoon, upper 60s to low 70s, so we're gradually warming up this week. And then Thursday morning, not as cool, down into the mid 50s, with highs Thursday afternoon into the upper 70s to low 80s for some of us, 40s and 50s Friday morning, and upper 70s to low 80s Friday afternoon. Maybe a few more 80s across the board as we head into Saturday. Sunday could be the warmest day in the next 7 days. We're talking 84 in Lincoln, 84 in Grand Island, 82 in McCook, and 86 degrees potentially out in Hebron. Again, Sunday, that'll be the warmest day. The coolest day over the next 7 days would be tomorrow at 66 degrees. Low temperature, coolest as we head into Wednesday morning, down to 40 degrees, maybe as warm as 60 degrees by the time we get to Sunday morning. 10-day forecast in terms of coolest temperatures statewide might be tomorrow, could also be Monday or Tuesday, the 13th or 14th. Warmest day by far, it looks to be Sunday as you climb into the upper 70s to mid 80s. Dew points, not terrible, but we could see return into the 50s and 60s Friday and Saturday, so maybe a little bit more humid out there. And in terms of our rainfall chances, really holding off until we get into about Monday to Thursday, so that 13th to 16th time period, we could see 20, 30, 40% chances for rain. Between now and Sunday, though, not overly excessive, about a 10 to 20% overall. We could see an increase in moisture, though, the 14th to the 20th. This is your 8 to 14-day outlook, especially in far northwestern Nebraska, but the whole state at least has a chance for above-average rainfall. It's not a rainy season by any means either, though, so above-average rainfall might not be too much in the end. Temperature-wise, we're looking at above-average temperatures, and the average high falls into the upper 60s to low 70s, so the chance is there to see at least a few more 80s, but as we go further into the month of October, the chance of that also does decrease further. So chilly temperatures overnight tonight, milder out there tomorrow, low 80s though potentially by the time we get into this upcoming weekend, and small chances for rain throughout the week, about a 20% chance between Wednesday and into the following Monday. Make sure to stay tuned to 1011 News at 10 of the latest forecast details, including that daily record rainfall once again. But for now, have a great evening.